iPhone 15 Pro Max, 150 days later, let's talk about it. Yep, no joke, 150 days have passed since the iPhone 15 Pro Max has come out. Time flies, and that's true. The iPhone 15 Pro Max has been the best experience I've ever had with an iPhone ever. The upgrade from the iPhone 14 Pro Max to the iPhone 15 Pro Max might seem small, but I do believe this is the biggest one that I've ever experienced. I've upgraded from the iPhone 4 to the 5S, and those were cool and the design changes were big, and I've upgraded from the iPhone 12 Pro to the 13 Pro with 120Hz. And every time that I do, I notice differences, but after a while, I forget that I have a new phone. Again, the iPhone 15 Pro Max is no different. After like 2 months, it will settle in. But the thing that the iPhone does, and this model specifically does really, really well, is surprise you. Every time you use it, you think, oh, that's a new feature. Oh, that's much better now. And for the last 150 days, there weren't any days that I felt that this iPhone was worse anyway, or it was even like the same. No, every time that I use the camera, every time that I use the phone, I'm reminded that the camera is the best in the market, and the battery life is better than my 14 Pro Max. So every time that I use this phone, I feel the improvements that Apple made to the 15 lineup. That's why I think that the iPhone 15 will age really, really well. Just like the iPhone 13 Pro, I do believe that the iPhone 15 Pro Max in 2-3 years will be reminded as one of the best values for you to buy a used model. Because, again, just like the iPhone 13 Pro, this improvement, although small, feels very significant every single day. The battery life, top notch, and that's one of the biggest reasons for you not to upgrade a phone. And then, of course, the cameras. The iPhone 13 Pro had the 120Hz display for its actual advantage, while the iPhone 15 Pro has to rely on the USB-C and the log footage and the video recording on the cameras. So I do believe all of these new features, USB-C, titanium, camera, battery life, display, make this upgrade worthwhile. But yeah, there's so much to talk about. So if you are excited, drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel, roll the intro. First, the design. I've talked about this many times, so I won't repeat myself. But this is a titanium frame with a glass back. Again, just like the Samsung S24 Ultra that I reviewed 2 weeks ago, and this is, in my opinion, the best choice of materials for a phone. It feels premium, it's light enough, but still gives you that heft, that premium heft that nice watches have and premium luxury jewelry have, and the iPhone and the Samsung, they do give you that feeling. And then, of course, all the buttons are really well made, machined out of titanium, insane. Then there's the action button, which is a new thing, a new hardware button on the iPhone, replacing the ringer switch. Do I use it? Not that much, so I'm not a big of a fan of the action button. Maybe it's cool if you want to take pictures and use it as a shutter button, but remind to keep your hands out of the cameras. Other than that, it's a cool shutter button if you like it. And right now I do believe it's quite limited because you could have like several actions, a double tap, a triple tap, a long tap on the action button, but the only action you can do is like one tap. You cannot configure more, and I wish Apple just gave us more options on this regard. More action button customizable options, and of course, other than that, I don't see more improvements out of the action button. You have the shortcuts app, you can do anything, and it's actually very powerful if you want to. As for the weight, this phone is lighter and better balanced than the iPhone 14 Pro Max. So I do believe that even if you don't wear a case, this phone will feel better in the hand. So in your hand, it will feel actually much lighter than it actually is. It's about only 30 grams lighter than the 14 Pro Max, but when you use it, you will feel that it's much, much lighter because of the weight distribution. No more of those very heavy stainless steel sides. Now you have these titanium borders all around that they look amazing. It's brushed titanium, not polished titanium. It has this rough look to it. It's really, really nice. Not like the Apple Watch titanium. It's like a different titanium. You gotta go into the store and see it. And yeah, looks really good, feels even better, and I think it was perfect choice for Apple in terms of materials for the 15 Pro Max. They also refined the design of the iPhone 15 lineup. Apple calls it contoured edges, but what they are is pretty simple. It's just Apple smoothed out the edges of the iPhone. Before, they were sharp and they would cut into your hand after a while, and if you grab it with really tight. Now they are contoured, so now they are much smoother. You can grab it on your hand, you will feel that it's actually more comfortable. Not as grippy, but it can slip a bit easier. Again, more comfortable which I do prefer. I use my phone caseless while I'm home, and it's much more comfortable now to hold and actually use. It's lighter, more comfortable, so much better. Do you remember the times with the iPhone X that you had that a little bit 3D effect on the glass, so it went a little bit up? The iPhone 12 Pro killed it. Became completely flat with the body of the phone, the frame of the phone. But then there was the 13, same design, 14, same design. Now on the 15, they went a little bit back. And it's not completely 3D like the iPhone X, but it's an in-between version of that and the iPhone 12 Pro. I do believe it's better, makes it look different, and I love it. But again, most people put a screen protector on it, so it won't probably matter for you. And lastly, the biggest hardware change here was USB-C. Gone is Lightning, and now we have USB-C. USB-C is one of my top 3 favorite features in the last 150 days. Reliable, super easy to use, transfer speeds are amazing, charging speeds incredible. It's so good to have the same cable for every single device. My camera, my computer, my AirPods, everything is USB-C, and I love to have USB-C on my iPhone. Finally, Apple, you did it. Great job. USB-C on the iPhone 15 Pro Max is super useful, and I cannot wait for everyone to experience this when they buy the newer iPhone 15 lineup. As for the display, this might seem that it's a small upgrade, and that's true. The display is mainly the same as the iPhone 14 Pro Max, with some slight changes. Now, the bezels are a bit thinner. This is the thinnest bezeled iPhone ever, and I think it's the thinnest bezeled phone in the world. The bezels are even, completely even, so yeah, the iPhone always had even bezels. Now the Samsung also has even bezels, but before it didn't. It looks better, feels better, and for those that have problems with uneven bezels because they don't like it, then the 15 Pro Max never had that issue. The bezels are thin, reliable, the display is really good, the contrast ratio is amazing. When compared to the Samsung, it's a bit warmer and the tones look more real. It looks more like reality, while the Samsung S24 Ultra looks more saturated, looks colder. The colors are a little cooler, so more blues, less oranges and reds, more blues, more greens, while the iPhone has a bit more reds and a bit warmer tone to it. I prefer the iPhone's display, although the Samsung one is really good also. These are the 2 best displays in the industry right now, in my opinion. And you also have a 2000 nits peak brightness here for HDR content, while the Samsung has about 2500 nits, so it's a bit brighter outside. This is plenty bright, and you won't notice any difference inside between the 2000 nit phone and a 2500 nit phone. Outside, like under very harsh sunlight, you might notice the difference between the Samsung and the iPhone, but again, this is bright enough and I don't need more. It will ruin your battery life, and that's something that I actually enjoy on my iPhone. So good battery life, good battery health for the battery long term, that's something that the iPhone 15 Pro Max does really well. Again, talking about battery, this is a 2-day phone. I haven't charged my iPhone specifically for this video, for be able to tell you the percentage that I have right now. It's 8 o'clock p.m. at night, and I haven't charged it since today is Friday, so not yesterday night, 2 days ago at night. So it's a 2-day phone, and I have, let me tell you, 11%. So I have 11% and I haven't charged anything. Let me see if I can show you better. 11%. As you can see, it's a 2-day phone. It's insane. Like the endurance that this phone have, the quality of the usage. So it never slows down when you have low battery, never has bugs. The quality of the experience of the iOS is really good. The performance is amazing. The A17 Pro chip does really well. Playing every single game on the App Store, fine. Editing video here, fine. Exporting video, super fast. Everything is just fast on the iPhone, and you won't notice the difference between the A17 Pro, the A16, but at the long term, you might. And playing AAA games is the actually only phone that supports that on the iPhone. So if you like playing Resident Evil, this is the only phone that can do it. This is the future of gaming on mobile, and I really enjoy having the A17 Pro, not for now, but for the future. The speaker system here is the best in the business right now. In the last 150 days, there were times that I'm just tired of wearing my AirPods. I take them out and I just use the speaker system. Really nice. When you are taking a shower, you want to listen to music. The speaker system here, plenty enough. This phone is IP68 waterproofed, so yeah, the rating is really good. I think it's 6 meters for 30 minutes, so you can put music while you are taking a shower. I know that's something that a lot of people do, and these speakers are amazing. So take a listen between these ones and the Samsung, and you will see these are a bit louder, and on the louder parts of the songs where there's a lot of highlights, these are a bit less distorted than the Samsung and a bit clearer. So let me know in the comments below if you agree with me on this regard, but again, you will be very, very happy with the speakers on this phone.
Till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah. No, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll go.
As for durability, in the last 150 days, analyzing this chassis, analyzing this body, I don't see any marks of use, nothing. No scratches on the glass in the back, no scratches in the lenses, so as you can see, nothing in the lenses, nothing in the back, everything looks good, nothing in the body, nothing. This looks brand new, and titanium is very durable, I already knew. The glass is surprising me, because newer iPhone glass has become very, very resistant to cracking. So if you drop your phone, it won't be easy to crack the display. But because of this, you'll make the display more prone to scratches. And that's something that annoys me. Scratches on everyday use annoy me because they don't look good. They don't look new. And makes me want to upgrade my phone. I don't know why, but a scratched up phone does not look good and I don't enjoy it. But luckily, I've put a screen protector on my iPhone. I've broken some and I've taken them off, I replaced them, so no issues there. My advice, buy a screen protector. Even if this is very durable, put a screen protector on, you will be safe, trust me. And now, the most important part about this phone and this review, and that's the cameras. The cameras are insane. This is the best camera system out there, and I've tested out the Samsung S24 Ultra. That's a newer phone than this, but the cameras here are so good. They are so balanced. Everything looks almost like it's the same camera with different lenses. It's weird to say, but that's true. Finally, Apple did something amazing. They increased the zoom capabilities of the iPhone while keeping an amazing wide lens and a good ultra-wide camera. Again, the wide lens takes amazing, amazing shots. Cars, buildings, people, everything looks insane. And now the rumors are saying that Apple is going to put an even bigger sensor on the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And I'm so excited because that's the only thing that I see that could improve on this wide lens. That's the bokeh. That's the portrait mode, the natural portrait mode. Not the fake one that Apple does really, really well. No, it's actually the bokeh, the natural bokeh from bigger sensors. And I'm excited for this new rumor for the iPhone 16 Pro Max. As for the ultra-wide camera, it's still a bit behind the wide lens, while rumors are saying that the iPhone 16 Pro Max will have a 48 megapixel ultra-wide camera. So I expect very much improvements on that regard, and I really, really need it because this ultra-wide camera is not bad. But when the light is not perfect and the lighting conditions are a bit worse, this is not as good. And you can notice definitely the difference between this and the wide lens. And then there's the telephoto. The telephoto here is the 5x telephoto, a new zoom range for Apple, and it's super, super useful. I've used it several times, and all of the photos from here look amazing. They look different, the perspective is different, it's very sharp actually, and it has some natural bokeh because it's an f4, an f1.4, I don't know. This is a smartphone sensor, I don't actually know the specific details of a smartphone sensor, but what I can tell you is that when you are taking portrait shots at subject, people, dogs, animals, whatever, with this lens, it will have natural bokeh. It will have some, it won't have much, but it will have some, more than before with the 3x telephoto. And the 120mm focal length is just different perspective, and I like it a lot. So, nice job Apple. This camera, in terms of photography, is really, really good. We all know that phones are getting closer and closer to DSLR cameras and mirrorless cameras in terms of photography, but one thing they do lag behind is the video. Well, the iPhone 15 Pro Max has taken a huge step and leap towards that, because now this is the first smartphone, or at least the first iPhone, to support log footage. And this is not a gimmick. Log footage changes completely the way that your smartphone video looks. Becomes a mirrorless camera video. It's a bad mirrorless camera, but it's still really close to a mirrorless camera. Again, it does not have the bokeh. That's something that gives it away as a smartphone video. But other than that, does not have the extra contrast and the extra saturation that every brand likes to put on their videos. It looks weird. It just looks like a blown out video with very high highlights, very deep shadows, and I know when it's a smartphone video because of the contrast, the sharpness, and I know when it's a mirrorless camera because all the video is a bit smoother, creamier, the colors are creamier, and that's different. And then of course you have the bokeh, which just gives it away as a mirrorless camera or a smartphone. But for the first time ever, the video on the iPhone 15 Pro Max is so good that I don't miss my mirrorless camera. All my vlogs are recorded with the iPhone 15 Pro Max video, and I don't feel the need to use a mirrorless camera. It's so good that I've gotten used to it and now I cannot go back. I need log footage on my iPhone. I just wish I had more storage because, again, log takes a lot of storage. If you are thinking of buying an iPhone 15 Pro Max, buy external storage, buy storage when you are buying your phone, or just use the Blackmagic Camera app. Be prepared. All of those three things are essential to recording log footage on the iPhone. And so the first 150 days are over. And what I can tell you is that I'm super happy. 10 out of 10 experience. This phone was totally worth the money. If you want to buy an iPhone 15 Pro Max in 2024, be free to do so. It's an amazing phone and you will love it. Thank you guys for watching. Drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel. Bye bye.